Hi, and welcome to another episode of The Cosmic Tea with me, Kier Grace. Trigger warning, I use the word dick. Why is that word so funny? God, my maturity level is that of like a middle school aged boy. For real. If you know me, like, it's the truth. Anyway, in this episode, I really like this episode. I really, really do. I talk about the nervous system regulation, and how it is a very important part of transcending karma, experiencing your dharma, manifesting, realizing your big dick desires, and blah, blah, blah. Have fun. If you have questions, please ask me. Your questions help me clarify. This is a co-creation. You help me, I help you. I love you. Peace out, motherfucker. Trigger warning, I use the word motherfucker. Hi. Coming on to expand on a topic I hit on in my Instagram broadcast channel. So if you aren't in there and you want to be, it's cool. It's free. It's just a part of Instagram. It's called Starseed Messages, and I just kind of share what comes up a few times a week. So this is inspired by a recent client of mine. We had our first one-on-one intensive a few weeks ago, Quantum Inner Child. And during the input form, when you book, ask a bunch of questions. And one of her questions was I want to know if my energy is aligned. And we went way deep into that, obviously, in her one-on-one, and everything I do boils down to the quantum inner child, but I'm gonna just walk you through kind of a little bit of the process and understanding behind it. I'm still working on articulating myself in a more proficient way when it comes to a lot of this. I'm kind of finding the balance to be okay, I don't have to be a professor. I don't have to certify people in understanding everything I'm talking about, the nitty gritty. But I do think that in the world of the internet, right, in this age of information, in this onslaught of people having spiritual awakenings and then within a year or two being spiritual coaches, I don't think that's bad. I think there's a lot of nuance. So I'm not trashing that. I'm just saying there's a lot of shit out there. And I do feel compelled often to explain, but I often over-explain, right? Just like I'm doing now. But essentially, at the core of it, I'm realizing okay, at the end of the day, my clients want to feel better. What's your, I'll put a trigger warning at the beginning. What's your big dick desire? If you take the shame and the should and all the shit out of it, essentially we all just want to feel good. We want to feel better. And we think that getting the thing is going to make us feel better. And a part of my job is to turn it back in and really look at the energy and belief systems that are keeping you from, firstly, feeling better and then getting what you want. Oftentimes, the what I want shifts when we start to regulate and feel better. But regardless, I realized that I don't have to over-explain. I don't have to teach you or clients everything I've learned in 14 years of teaching and studying Kundalini yogic science. I don't have to explain in detail everything I've ever channeled in the past 16 years working with the multidimensional beings and extraterrestrials. And yes, I'm tooting my horn because I've been doing this a long time. I'm still trying to simplify. I'm still trying to create an effective, straight-to-the-point message. I want to take everything I've learned, experienced, integrated, and grounded with my study of the mind, with my psychic gifts that I have had since birth and spent a lifetime understanding. I want to take all of that and just create really fucking feasible steps to get a client from point A to point B, from point A to the big dick desire, to feel better, to feel abundant, to see prosperity appear in their lives, right? I don't have to explain how it's all working. I know how it's all working. I see the energy in so much detail, it overwhelms me. And that's been like a struggle my whole life with all of this, with all of the channeling and everything I see. And like trying to explain to people how I know what I know, or how I figured out what I figured out, or how I can pinpoint this, or how I channel, and how I don't know how. Like a lot of it, like I don't know how. It just is for me. And like, how do I explain density and dimension and how it all ties into a new earth and ascension and the nervous system of a starseed and karma and the emotional body, and then boil it all down, and it really just comes to that cluster in your auric field that is representative of an inner child in parallel time. And like, I don't know how to explain all that. It's hard. It's hard for me. So anyway, bear with me as I continue to refine my messaging and refine how I talk to you and refine how I explain, because really, do we really care if it helps? And I don't mean like a quick fix. I'm not a Band-Aid girl. I'm not a like false promises, just completely quantum leap out of a reality into a completely different life in a day girl. Because why? Because I see energy so accurately, and I guess this is me tooting my horn. I don't know. I just do. I'm really good at it, and I'm proud of myself. Anyway, blah, 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 blah. All right, so is your energy aligned? So better question to explore, is your nervous system regulated? And I would like to challenge you to start replacing the word energy alignment with nervous system regulation, and like being out of alignment with dysregulated nervous system. Because okay, again, here I am, I'm trying to explain. So that's the better question. Is my energy aligned? Well, if your nervous system is dysregulated, if you're feeling the symptoms of a dysregulated nervous system, anxiety, overwhelm, restlessness, then no, your energy is not aligned. So then people start to be like, okay, well, how do I align my energy? How do I align my energy? And they search for these like elusive, energetic quick fixes that most people don't even understand to begin with. So, do you feel safe? Do you feel in your body? Can you take deep breaths? Come back to the nervous system. Your nervous system emits a frequency. And I learned this by seeing it. Looking at a client in my mind's eye, and I would see their auric field and see the kind of soul, the different chakras emitting a different frequency, the kind of inner being emitting a frequency, and then the nervous system emitting frequencies. And that creates your singular vibrational set point, which holds you in a timeline. And when we're manifesting or wanting a big dick desire, it's not that we're creating something out of thin air that doesn't exist. Everything exists now. So it's about shifting into a timeline where it exists. So that's up to your vibrational set point, and your nervous system is a huge piece of the vibrational set point. So your nervous system is the physical manifestation of the emotional body. So the emotional body is non-physical, and it is projecting itself into the 3D and creates your nervous system. So your emotional body is a part of your aura. It is magnetic. It vibrates you through different timelines and experiences and people and all of the things. So when your nervous system is in chronic fight and flight, for lack of a better word, it will block your core soul frequency, which is God. It's a very high frequency. And when you're in that state of allowance, right, the flow state, that's your soul frequency. And that cannot be achieved without your nervous system being regulated, because those pings of fight-flight frequency block it. It blocks your ability to move into different timelines where you are allowing what you desire to be in your life. I hope this is making sense. I'm open to questions, always. DM me or email me, or you can leave comments on this episode if you're on Spotify. So you've heard the phrase your thoughts create your life, right? It's not inaccurate, but I think it needs a lot more explanation, because this can really fuck us up if we have trauma and mental health struggles, depression, general anxiety, OCD, all of these mental health stuff. It can really fuck us up. We're oh my God, I'm thinking all this and blah, blah, blah. No, don't worry about it. I promise your anxious thoughts aren't creating your reality. But I'll tell you what is contributing to the frequency, right? The feeling of your thoughts. If you're having all these anxious thoughts, you're feeling anxiety. What happened first? It's the feeling. So it's the nervous system. So your nervous system dictates the frequency of thought. I'm going to say that again. It's a good one. Your nervous system dictates the frequency of your thoughts. And remember, we can interchange the words frequency and feeling. So how is this thought feeling? Oh, it feels unsafe in my body. There's dysregulation. So the mistake is going to mindset work first. You're not going to mindset work yourself out of the frequency because it's being emitted from your nervous system. So the frequency of your thoughts contribute to the creation of your life. But it's important to remember that your soul frequency, that pure connection with the Godhead, the God source, the God frequency is always in you. You're not going to fuck that up. So to feel safe enough to trust that, is also a big thing. We don't have to do things to raise our vibration. We do have to figure out how to allow and just like chill the fuck out, because that highest frequency is already within us. So if we peel back the layers of a dysregulated nervous system and trauma and conditioning, then that inner soul frequency that holds all of our deepest desires and dreams and the beauty and joy and bliss of this life, it's there. It doesn't need to be like amplified. It's there. Like there's nothing, you know what I'm saying? So there's obviously a very intimate relationship between your nervous system, your mental body, which is a very complex energetic body. I learned that through the study of the mind through Kundalini yoga. And it's not worth explaining. I obviously do go more into it if you're in my like cosmic Kundalini course or whatever, but it's not necessary to understand every piece of it, but very complex. So I'm going to like start the sentence over, but there's an intimate relationship between your nervous system, your mental body, and your emotional energy body. So your mind is a mechanism. I'm going to break it down a little more simply. Your mind is a mechanism. It's not like, it doesn't have its own thoughts. Like, I don't know how to, okay. So your mind is a mechanism. It reacts to the state of your nervous system. Your nervous system is reacting to tangles of emotional imprinting in your auric field. Your auric field is filled with your karma. Karma is the accumulation of emotional entanglements from every life ever, vibrating here and now in your vibrational set point. It's all connected. Nervous system work is spiritual work. It is energy work. It is a core piece of vibrational maintenance. How does this tie in to the inner child? Well, when you incarnated into this physical reality as you, you did so with your karma from all these other lives and experiences. And karma is just the law of cause and effect. It's not like you have to, it's not like you did something bad and now you're going to get bad things here. Like that's too, humans really fucked the idea up. But it's just energy, okay? So those energy patterns, you're born, you come out of the womb, you have those energy patterns in your auric field already. So those magnetic tangles immediately, they already attracted your family, your choice of family. They already attracted the generational trauma. They already attracted whatever you're born with, the cell memory of all of these accumulation of past lives and karma, your birthmarks, the things like you love or hate about your body, all the stuff. It already set that all up through frequency. It's just karma. It's just the reincarnation cycle. Just energy. And so as you go throughout your life, you have these same patterns in your auric field, and they're magnetic, and they're attracting the same patterns over and over again, just with different players, different people, different places, different whatever. And it's a lot of times it's why like we obviously reincarnate over and over again with like same people, different faces, right? Different dynamics, but the same karma, the same frequency of patterning. Now, karma, when we hold this karma in our auric field, we react to it without realizing it. So think of it again, the emotional entanglements is karma. So when we emotionally react to an external trigger, we're projecting our unresolved karma onto it. Get what I'm saying? So this external trigger is inherently neutral. We're just, again, projecting our emotions, projecting our karma onto it. And what is the most accessible way to see what we're projecting and to go into our core beliefs and our conditioning while being in the present timeline and not distracting ourselves through all of this like diluted past life work? I mean, that's fun and all, but like when you get down to it, it's a distraction. It's the inner child, because each of those clusters, we have this life to eliminate the karma, to stop reacting, and to transcend karma and experience our dharma, which holds higher frequency than the karma. So when I see an aura, when I tap in with my clients and I see the nervous system, and then I go into the emotional body and I go into an entanglement, I can see different galactic lives that contributed to that karma. But the most accessible bridge to the higher self, to the dharma, is through the quantum inner child. Because we're most familiar with this timeline, and you've never been you before. You've never been you before. You've been aspects of you in these different lives, but it's not you. And there is an inner child, there is a young adult who has been through trauma, who has not realized, hasn't been safe enough, right? Circling back to the fight-flight mode, feeling unsafe in the body. None of this is able to be processed out without a regulated nervous system. So, times in your life as a child when you were dysregulated are still functioning in your auric field and in a parallel timeline. So when we do the quantum work, when I see the specific inner child, when I guide you to a specific moment, we are in that timeline. We're creating a kind of like a time travel loop through the quantum fields. And we are changing that experience in this timeline for that child. We're asking, what did you really need? What did you not get? What do I need to hear from you? And we're learning. And this is how we become our own savior. This is how we stop looking outside of ourselves for all the answers. This is how we change our frequency in a stable, sustainable way. This is how we heal our nervous system. This is how we heal the childhood trauma. This is how we clear our karma and start functioning from our dharma, from our soul frequency. I hope I explained this. I'm working on it. Your questions help. They help me refine and explain. So I hope that this leaves you with something. Okay, how about this? I'll give you like right steps to take, okay? My top ways to regulate. Kundalini mantra and like all things Kundalini yoga and meditation, obviously. Hot bath, hot shower. I love combining the hot bath and the hot shower with mantra. Walking outside enough to get the heart rate pumping. I actually love to add breath of fire when I walk. Quantum inner child meditation work. I have a very specific technique that I do with clients that combines Kundalini meditation, Kundalini work with my quantum inner child technique. I have a weighted blanket, love it. Ice pack on the chest to stimulate the vagus nerve. Snuggling with a dog or a human or another mammal, like hot-blooded being. Hot tea. hugging a tree, reading fiction, and combine these things. So that's the baseline. And I explained through this whole episode why the baseline is important to dissolving karma and manifesting the life of your motherfucking dreams. All right, if you made it this far, I fucking love you. I appreciate you so much. Please, please, please don't hesitate to reach out. Tell me what resonated. Tell me what helped you. Please leave a review. Share this on your stories. Tag me, DM me, email me, ask me questions, ask me to clarify. Like, this is a co-creation, and I appreciate the fuck out of you. Bye.